We're back. I, oh, guys, it has been a minute, okay? Right before I was sitting down to do this, I was kind of like thinking, when was actually the last time I sat down in the studio? And it's been at least 6 weeks. I, not even intentional, I just have been doing anything but this, it seems like. And just this is really just going to be like a venting episode for me because of I just want to talk about what I've been going through because I know I'm not the only one who's been going through it. And yeah, so we're just going to talk, okay? And if you're just listening to this, I have to give you a visual. And if you're watching this, I'm really sorry you have to see me like this. I just finished filming some content, so I am in my strawberry jammies. The hair is greased back because I literally lost my hairbrush. My kids have been home for at least a week, and so it seems like everything has been gone missing in my house. And right now, the favorite place for them to play seems to be my makeup drawer. So I've just been kind of going through the motions. It was honestly like leading up to December, and the moment it hit like December 1st, without even like consciously thinking about it, I was just miserable. And yeah, I guess miserable would be the right word. I was checked out. I was like just not myself. And this is the first year that I've worked right through. I had Christmas Day off, and then I had the 27th, 28th off, and that was it. I've worked literally right through, and this is currently December 30th, and I'm recording this. It's a Tuesday. I went back to work yesterday, and I work until not this Friday, but next Friday. And again, I think it's like a coping mechanism for me. So if you're new here, I had a full-term stillbirth via uterine rupture in 2022. And so that first Christmas, which was 2022, I was obviously very numb. We jet set it off on a trip, the three of us, and it was just kind of like go, go, go. We were so very much surrounded by family and friends, and it was just a distraction. And then 2023 Christmas, I was pregnant with my rainbow baby. And so we were telling everybody about, the pregnancy. And so again, a distraction that was fun. And then 2024 Christmas, we had a newborn at home after, yeah, he was still very much a newborn. He was born in June, but he was only born at 28 weeks. And so, again, a distraction. I was on a high. I was just really making Christmas about him. And then this year, which would be our third Christmas without him, and this sounds so bad to say, but I didn't really have anything to distract me, even though I have a beautiful family. It was just very I don't know, it was just weird. And then I had no Christmas presents. I was literally Christmas shopping at 12 p.m. on Christmas Eve day, and I didn't even know what to get. It was just so weird. Everybody was like, Merry Christmas, da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, okay, is it Christmas kind of thing? And then the week before Christmas, my son ended up I don't know where you're listening from, but I'm in Alberta, Canada, and the plague is pretty much here right now. It's influenza A. There's the dreaded C word, I'm sure, mixed up in there. And you can probably tell from my voice, this is not generally what I sound like. And of course, being the mom taking care of everybody, I got hit too. And so we fought a fever with our youngest for 6 days. And I solo parent. My husband works away Monday to Thursday. And so, yeah, it was just me. And then my oldest daughter ended up getting it just for a day, which was like crazy. And then a couple days before Christmas, your girl, she's coughing, she's congested, she's everything. And then on like Christmas Eve, I got home and I just about fainted. When I was at work, it was like go, 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 and it was good. And then as soon as I got home and like tried to slow down, it was like, okay, nope, we are sick. And so that was a huge bummer. I'm trying to like distract myself with Christmas and I'm just sicker than sick. All I wanted to do was sleep. So I got up for like little pieces of time. And then we were able to go enjoy time with family. And then my husband ended up getting it. And so it's just been, it's been hard. And then I've been working. And so it's just, I ended up like the beginning of December, we hosted like a virtual grief webinar for the nonprofit foundation. And then I didn't do a single thing and I felt so guilty. I was like checking in on people as like things came up and that like I just anticipated it looking a lot different. I've anticipated being in a very different place for the foundation right now, and I just couldn't get myself there. And so, during the webinar, I was like, I gave myself full permission this year to be joyous, to enjoy it, to get into Christmas, to do all of these things. And I didn't do any of the things that I gave myself permission to, whether or not that was like a lot of pressure I put on myself without being able to anticipate how hard this year was going to be. And I was just so burned out by it all. And then I didn't podcast. I haven't been in my studio. I actually had my studio like ripped apart up until like 20 minutes ago because I signed like this really good deal with a brand, and essentially we ended up getting screwed over from every which way. And that sucked. And so then there was that. We're dealing with that. We're trying to like, there's just a lot. And so going through that, and Christmas has always been like this really important holiday to me, and it still very much is, but there's just so much pressure to make it something that is like movie worthy, special. And when you're just like literally going through the motions, and that's so sad because now I'm looking back on like another year that, okay, we're never going to get this one back, but you can only do as much as your body will allow you to do. And so we survived it. We got through that aspect of it. And now we're heading into another new year. And it was actually January 1 of 2025 that I released that this was happening, this podcast. I think it was the teaser I released shortly after, because it's like a full circle moment. I was so sick last Christmas and it took me weeks to get my voice back. And well, I'm right there. But now that I've like built you guys up and you know what I sound like, kind of the vibe, I feel like I can be vulnerable and get it behind the mic and sound like total dog shit. And you guys will still come back to me, right? You have to come back to me because I just love you so much. So we're coming up to almost a complete year. It's January 12th. That's like the first anniversary, which is also my 31st birthday. But I did talk about this in the first episode of how difficult it is to turn over to another calendar year, and whether that's like your first one where you may have a feeling of leaving your loved one in that past year. And then for a lot of us who this isn't our first one, it's another year further from when we were able to physically be with our loved ones. And so that always brings its own challenges as well, which is kind of, I think, again, why I'm okay with working this year is I'm distracted. I'm taking care of other people. I'm, just being able to take care of other vulnerable people, which then allows me to take care of myself, which is like kind of weird. But if you're a nurse, then it's like, yeah, you kind of have to like give a little bit of yourself to be able to take care of a little bit of yourself in the current situation that I am living in. And it just seems like life is passing us by so quickly. And I'm very much still recovering. You can probably see it if you're watching this. I have like 8 pounds of Aquaphor on these lips because your girl's been mouth breathing for like a week. Disgusting, I know. And so, yeah, I've been sitting in all of that. And then so, the whole new year, new me BS, I'm not doing that, but I'm like, 2026, I have to take care of myself. I have to heal. I have to learn to live again because I'm not living right now. And I've really come to terms with that. I'm just, December really hard stopped me in so many ways. And I was like killing the content game. And then I just was like radio silent out of literally nowhere. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so exhausted. Mentally, emotionally, like, all of the things. Anyway, I don't know if you've heard of 75 Hard before, but it's like this big mental challenge where for 75 days, it's like you follow a diet of your choice. You read 10 pages of the Bible or a nonfiction book per day. 2 45-minute workouts, 3 hours apart. One has to be outdoors, and a gallon of water a day, and then a progress pick a day. And if you miss any one of them, you start over from day one again. And so there's a group of us that are doing that. So I've been trying to like get my ducks in a row to be successful with it. January is always such a busy month for us. And we're also transitioning, like my husband is going back to school for a couple months, and so he's going to be like present with us, which is going to be so special. But like for those of you who your husbands work away and you're generally the main parent, you know that it's going to come with its struggles, and it's, we get into a routine, but I also think it's going to be really, really good and give me a little bit of like freedom and flexibility to a point. And so, yeah, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to do that. I generally do the anti-inflammatory diet. And so it's just highly focused on foods that have like a high anti-inflammatory, antioxidant properties. So I'm going to do that again because I have so much inflammation that I'm dealing with. And so that's like one thing that oh my God, this is like the most vulnerable episode I'm ever doing. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm really hoping that I can note it. Like, I just have to get out of this funk and I have to like feel good again. I have to kick this sickness in the behind and tell it to pack its bags and leave. And so we're full blown jumping back into podcasting, which I have to share with you guys. This is like so exciting for me. I posted like a while ago. This is like a few months ago. It has to be. that Rogers TV picked us up and has been broadcasting us on their station. And so right now I'm covering for like a home care position. So we do lots of community and whatnot. And my coworker was at a visit the other day, and she like texted me. She was like, "You're on a client's TV." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Yeah, like her TV's playing." And I went to leave, and I was like, "Wait a second, like I know that girl." And so she is like, "Well, what channel are you watching or whatever?" And yeah, so she's like, "It's your podcast." Like, and these are like more so geriatric patients, so like that's like super cute. And so it's just like a reminder, because I think sometimes I'm like, is this an important thing that I'm doing? Is this needed? Is it blah 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 blah, whatever we tell ourselves to make it seem like we're not, what we're doing isn't important. And taking December off was like really difficult for me, in the sense I felt like I was disappointing myself. Like I set out this expectation that every single Thursday an episode will be released, and then I failed to deliver that expectation. And so to hear that, you know, it's still circulating and people are still listening and they're still hearing the conversations, and the conversations are still being had, even if they're not actively presently happening, is just a very large reminder for me that what I'm doing is important, and it does have an impact, and it is like circulating even though I may not see it. And so yeah, that was pretty freaking awesome, if I'm being honest. And we have been on iHeartRadio. There's like this Podash app or something on the internet that I Googled myself today, okay? I don't know if you ever do that. Specifically the podcast. And yeah, it was just like, yeah, there's this podcast and it's like with your host, Alexa, and she talks about all of these things. And then it's like different platforms that I'm on. I'm like, that's cool. Okay. So people are just like picking me up, and yeah, we're just kind of like out here doing the thing. So it feels really, really good to be back in this space. You can tell from this recording that I am like on a roller coaster in my head right now, which like is okay. It is what it is. And so I just really wanted to sit down, and it gave me a reason to put my studio back into space. I have some like not podcast foundation, like articles on the wall. I'm wanting to like redo back here, and yeah, we're just having fun. I really want to get back, not back into, I want to start doing in-person interviews. I just think like we are so used to connecting over like virtually now, and it really works because I do connect with people from all over the world. But like my local girlies, I would love to sit across from you and just like, hello. Just like more authentic. I don't know. Not even that. It's the vibe. So we're going to try and do that this year, and yeah, I think I'm just craving like the routine again, and doing all of that, and just kind of like getting out of December and just persevere forward, continue doing the things that we're doing. I have some support groups coming up, which are so healing for me as well, and just making some really exciting connections. And yeah, I'm feeling good being back in this seat. It kind of just, I was like, you know what? I need to just sit down and just like speak. I need to unwrap the Christmas baggage, the Christmas burnout, the sickness. We need to like wish it all away and just kind of get back into, yeah, doing what's serving us and doing it while we're healthy. Like, that's the biggest thing, I think, is the older I get, and obviously parenting, we're not just like, I cannot just bed rot all day, every day until I feel better. It's go, and go harder, because you're sick. You have to give more, right? Okay, well, thank you for tuning in. if you're new here, check out some of our old episodes. If you're not, it's so good to have you here again. Welcome if you are new. And 2026 is going to be here in like 24, 28 hours. And I'm ready to make this year mine.